Hello, Factorio people. Welcome to Factorio OVEREXPLAINED. Welcome back to Factorio OVEREXPLAINED. I tidied up the mall like I said I would. I didn't really explain when I say mall. Some people call it a mall, some people call it a hub, some people call it HQ. Whatever you want to call it. Basically, it just builds stuff that you need, but not obviously stuff that you need to be built uh, fast or at ratio or anything. You just want to have a stockpile of these. And you can see that our iron gear wheel machines are not quite keeping up because a lot of gear wheels are going into various things. So we got our belts, and belts also go into splitters and undergrounds. We've got power poles here with our limited chests. I faffed around last time with limiting the chests with the circuit network, and I don't recommend you do that, having thought about it. Inserters, yellow, blue and red, should be more than enough for now. And yellow inserters are needed in the recipe for red and blue inserters, so you can see the basic setup here is that... Hello? Hello? There we go. The basic setup here is that the yellow inserters, some of them go into this chest, and then some of them are the ingredients for this and for this. And then this makes blue ones which go into here, and this makes red ones which go into here. So again, it's not being built at ratio, of course, but in our hub, in our mall, we don't care about that. We just eventually want there to be a stockpile of things so that when we go and come back from finishing a job, we will have some more stuff. The research for advanced assembly machines finished, which is where all the iron gear wheels are going. Advanced assembly machines, are they called advanced? No, they're just called assembly machines 2. Assembly machine 2s need assembly machine 1s as the ingredient, but there's no real reason to stockpile assembly machine 1s after you've got number 2s, obviously. So all of the produce from this just goes straight into this, and then this goes into a chest. And then we'll take these, and obviously we could upgrade this straight away in the same way that you can overwrite an inserter, a yellow inserter with a blue one, because it's just a straight upgrade. The same with this. Now let me just edit my toolbar slightly. Down here, I'm going to middle click that to get rid of it, and then select the assembly machine 2s instead. Let's get some steel chests as well, just because it's always nice to have some steel chests. I've got proper power poles at long last. I will continue to put them this way. So our assembly machine 2s have a crafting speed of 0.75, which makes the mental maths slightly harder. You can't just double your craft times here, so an assembly machine that has a 0.5 crafting speed, obviously 0.5 is the same as timesing it by 2, whereas dividing by 0.5, yeah, whereas dividing is 0.75 is the same as multiplying it by 4/3, so it's slightly harder mental maths wise. But still. Just got a little junk chest here for stuff that I am not going to need any more of, including... I might need these stone furnaces. Right, okay, so... and pipes, I forgot to mention. Pipes, we're going to need pipes soon because we're going to have to start thinking about oil production. Pipes are a kind of a pain because you need 10 pipes for one set of underground pipes, because the maximum length of an underground pipe is 10 segments. So that's the logic there, but then that kind of means that it takes 15 iron plates just to make one set of underground pipes, so your stockpile of regular pipes doesn't really start ticking up for quite some time. But you need undergrounds because of some weird way that the pressure of fluid works, which I'm not going to get into that right now. You can also see here a idiosyncrasy of only pulling from one half of the belt, which is... so this half of the belt goes onto this half of the splitter, and then because this is only ever taking from this side, or rather this is this space here on the belt is empty before this space here on the belt, you can see that we've got a backlog of only happening on one side. So if I haven't put a balancer at the top end, which I don't remember if I did or not, no I didn't. So you can see here that all of my furnaces on the right hand side have stopped because the right hand side is not balanced. So let me just do another simple one lane, a simple balancer, very very simple balancer. I'll just put it here. I've built one of these before, but I will go through it again as it's slightly more relevant now. Let me zoom in. Whoa, let me not. Whoa! Sorry. Just trying to get this in the middle of the screen by doing WASD to move my character around, but when I'm in draw mode, pressing W opens the whiteboard. So this lane, this lane of the belt will always drop on the top, and this lane will always drop on the bottom. If this lane is backed up, then that means that this lane must be backed up, so everything needs to go onto the bottom anyway, and vice versa. It's very simple one-to-one lane balancer. I believe there is a more complicated version of it that has slightly higher throughput, but for this exact situation, I don't see why you would need any more than this. And as you can see, that has solved the problem quite nicely. Okay, what now? How's this iron supply looking? 223,000. That's kind of a lot. Let's continue to do all the research we need to get up to blue science, shall we? So if we go back into the tree, we can see we're quite a bit away from blue science because we haven't got fluid handling, which means that we can't do oil processing and then all of the stuff that happens with oil processing. So let's start back with fluid handling, which is yellow because it is the first one that we can actually research. Green is done, yellow is you can't do it, that you haven't done it but you can do it, and red is you haven't done it and you can't pick it. There is some prerequisite that you don't have. Blue science is there, so let's get fluid handling done. And while that's all ticking over, I guess we should probably build a car and try and drive around and find some oil, but I also haven't done that. Let's cancel this. Let's research the car first. That should be quite quick. You only need ever to build one car, realistically, unless you crash or something horrible happens. 20 iron plates, 5 steel plates, and 8 engine units. Let's get some engine units done. And let's have just a quick look in here in the FNEI as usual to see what else will need engine units. Blue science, trains, cars, pumps. Let's just quickly have a stockpile of engines going, shall we? Just because it's easy. Steel plate, iron gear wheels and pipes. Steel plate we'll get from there, iron gear wheels we'll get from here, and pipes we'll have to make. So I'm not going to automate engines just yet, but I am going to want some engines to build cars and trains and things like that. So engines go in here, steel plates, iron gear wheels, pipes. This one needs to be pipes, which are in logistics. Pipes just need this just needs this. The pipes need to go into there, and then this just can go into a box. And we'll say 50 should be enough for now. They are quite slow, so even with our assembly machine 2s now, it's 10 seconds. So divide by 3.3 seconds times by 4, 12, 13 and a bit seconds. So, you know, it's going to take a good half an hour for this to fill up with 50, but we only need some for the car and some for a train and stuff like that. It also looks like I should probably focus on making sure these make iron gear wheels slightly faster, and we'll just double check that our inserters can keep up with that. Not quite. Yeah, so we're just about getting some item ingredient shortage, so I'm just going to double up on those because I'm out of fast inserters, so I'll take another 100 of those. I'm just going to double up on these just because iron gear wheels are definitely the bottleneck for them all. And I know I just said that them all is, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be built at ratio or whatever, but it would also help if I'd have faced these the right way around, wouldn't you say? There we go. Alright, so we've got a slightly more iron gear wheels now. But you can see there's definitely a shortage. I could like double these up again and have two, but you know, like, I often find that most of my early game iron supply goes into iron gear wheels for them all, which is kind of odd. It always seems to be a bottleneck, but right. Car is going to need fuel, so thankfully, I don't fully understand how, but thankfully you can just shove coal into a car and it works. So let's just take a stockpile of coal. I'm going to hold F here to pick things up from the floor, which includes anything on a belt. That should be more than enough coal. A car also has a trunk for plenty of storage, so here's another junk chest. Let's get rid of that and put all of the junk in one place, and then when we're definitely done with it, we can blow it up satisfyingly. Maybe research nuclear weapons or something. Right, good. How's electricity doing while we've got our moments? It's actually not great. See, there's a massive spike here as I told it to do something 3 minutes ago. So I should over-explain this. This is time on the bottom. Doesn't say. Axes aren't labelled. 0 out of 10. So I've clicked an hour here, so 60 minutes, 57 minutes, whatever. So 3 minutes ago we put something down. It was probably asking these to do more work and asking these to do all the work. Okay, cars are researched. Let's go back to what we were doing. Fluid handling. And let's build a car, shall we? Down here, 20 iron plates, 5 steel plates, 8 engine units. Did we get 8 engine units in that time? We got 14. That's great. Just need some iron plates now. Oh, you're full. Whoops, don't take all that steel. It's quite a challenge to sometimes pick up from one half of the belt, especially because the inserters like move you around. You can build a car by hand, because of course you can. Right, so then you get it and you just plonk it down like a normal item, but you can press enter to get into the car. The car takes your colour of the player. You can set your colour of your player here, and I did that. I think I did it in between episodes at one point. Never told you that I did that. I like to be this sort of weird deep orange colour. All fluid handling's done as well. Let's just keep ploughing along now on research. Let's do lab research speed. Probably should have done that first. The car has no fuel. What fuel can it take? Basically anything. Wood, coal, solid fuel, which we've never done, rocket fuel, nuclear fuel, which are a ways away yet. So let's just bung the coal in the trunk. The trunk is just, whoops, the trunk is just separate inventory space. Do be a bit careful. If your car blows up, then yeah, you lose it all. And let's go for a little drive, shall we? Which way do we fancy going? I feel like we should probably go this way, because there's already copper here to start with, and there's a nice open lane here. I won't have to worry about knocking too many trees down. So let's see if we can't go and find some more iron and copper and oil, especially up there. Vroom. Yeah, great driving. Great driving. So our one radar that we put down has obviously done its job. It is... oh no, it's still scanning. It's still going. It's very slow, and I could have put more down, but they are painfully slow, and they use a lot of electricity, so I was just leaving it. Right, so you'll see here the map. Explained the map before, but you'll see here the fog of war start to go away as we find things. So this copper patch was 2.1 million. That's pretty good. Some more uranium up here. I mean, this is the other reason why I don't like having biters on. I mean, I feel like I can explain in a bit more depth now. I just sort of said at the beginning I'm not having the biters on. I just don't like having them on. I just like it really slows this phase of the game down, where I've now got to go and try and find a resource that I want. But there will be so many biters around here as well that I have to also kill the biter nests as I'm exploring, and it's just not the way I want to play the game, personally. You can obviously get around that by having biters on, but then changing your settings so that resources are more plentiful or whatever. But you know, that's the beauty of the game, really, is what with the mods and the in-game options, you can just play it however you feel like you want to play it. As you can see, either a combination of the default... Oh, I really thought I'd make it through there. A combination of the default resource settings and bad luck. Not finding anything. But resource patches are relatively small. Like, if you look at how small this is, there could easily be something here, or, you know, so let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Once you've seen it, you've seen it, and that at least gives you some idea of what you might want to do and where you might want to go. Ooh, driving through trees. So here's an interesting thing. It generates the land and puts the ores down first, and then puts the water down. So there was at one point some copper ore here, and then the water got placed. Oh no, right. You can mine your car if you want, so you don't feel like you have to drive it, especially through trees, because it's a pain. So now that we've gone through this clearing, I'll just plop it straight back down. Pro strats. Face it the right way as well would be good. I see some oil. I see some oil. I hit a tree. Right, I've hit a tree, so my health bar's come up. Can I make repair packs? No, I don't have any electronic circuits. Well, we'll just leave it. Oil on the map are these purple squares. This one is slightly too far away from these for it to count as the same oil patch. Instead of a number, it gives you a combined yield, and each patch, if I can get there, oh, lab research speed, thank you very much. Let's do the next lab research speed. So this one has a yield of 109, this one has a yield of 90, just 90, and there are some more here. So you can press Q on it in the same way that you can press Q on something that you've put down to copy it. If you press Q on oil, you get the pump jack up, which is the minor version of fluids, which then gives you the green squares to show where they all are. So we're going to have to clear these trees to get anything done. The yield I don't fully understand. Obviously the higher number is better, but it doesn't give you like an amount of oil that you will get the more you mine it, the lower the yield gets. I don't think it ever truly fully stops. Might have to look that up. Right, so oil is here. It's that really awkward distance that's like, probably should ship it in with a train. Probably should do that. Or at least we know where it is. The point is we know where it is and we can start making a plan. The next thing we should plan for is more iron. And if we're building a train out this far as well, we can start thinking about a train network. So let's keep exploring roughly this way if we're going to be building a train around here. Keeping on, there it is, keeping an eye on this. Whoa, yes, now we're talking. Now we're talking. 7.8 million. And there's some stone here as well. There could be anything here. There's the copper there, right. So I guess a rough plan then for the base would be a train track here through this cliff. A lot of trees that I would have to get rid of. I could, I suppose, go this way. Can build train tracks diagonally, and then something here with a station that comes off this way for oil, this way for stone, this way for iron, and then can just go off. Whoa, what is it doing? Sorry. Can just go off further if it needs to for other things. Right, you love to see it. You love to see it. Right, let's drive back through the fog of war and see what else we see. How big is this stone patch, for example? Not huge, but it exists. 1.8 million. It's not great, but it'll have to do for now. Stone bricks really is what... Stone bricks and rail is what you need the stone for. And I'm just going to do a bit more exploring because I can. Also, I was sensible enough to start a timer before I recorded this episode, so I don't just have to guess. There's some more copper. Almost said coal there. 10 million. Nice. I didn't change the map generation settings, did I? I left it all as default. 10 and 7 million for the next ones. The next patches. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's pretty good RNG there. Was that quicker than driving through the trees? I don't know. I don't know. So, now that we're back, even at 30 seconds research time, 12 labs is not consuming all the science. And we can up our science per minute as well by upgrading all of these to blue. So currently we make 30 a minute, I believe, is what we settled on with these numbers. Pack. Oh, because the research speeds are just so up and down, there's really no actual way of knowing. I'd have to do the math. 6 a second, half crafting speed, 12 a second. 1 every 6 seconds, 1 every 12 seconds. 6 every 12 seconds is 1 every 2 seconds. It's 30 a minute, yes. So going up to assembly machine 2s would be a 25% bonus on that, so it would be 45 a minute. Wait, that can't be right. It's a 50% crafting speed bonus, that's right. It's half as fast again. So you add half of the... Yes, that is correct. So we could go up to 45 science per minute by using these. Maybe we should just do that, because more science is good. And because we built everything at ratio before, we know that it's just a simple case of upgrading these as well. But we also know from before that one of these inserters on each iron gear wheel machine is not enough. This one should be fine, because it's running slowly anyway. And then let's add some more labs, shall we? I need to get some electronic circuits before I do that. I mean, you could add labs to the mall, but to the hub, to the HQ, it's really not hugely necessary, because you only end up maybe building... What am I short on here? Iron gear wheels. Our iron gear wheels are completely backed up, so that's nice. Let's add another 6, yeah. You end up building a finite number of labs, even when you go for very high science per minute numbers, because at that point you're using beacons and modules, which, if you know, then you know. If you don't know, you don't need to worry about it right now, because you're using beacons and modules to do those things. I will continue to use wooden power poles just for the sake of symmetry. An individual lab can do a lot of research. That's probably killed electricity, and it hasn't, but... What was this? Oh, here's the assembly. So even just this change on assembly machines, you can see, boom, suddenly lots. And assembly... lab research speed 2 is just finished there as well. Let's continue with the fluid line then, and do oil processing, so that we can actually build the pump jacks that we would need. I suppose I could have thought far enough ahead and built this slightly further over, like here, so that then pump jacks could have been on this side, because the pump jacks also need pipes and iron gear wheels. But you know, who am I? I don't have 1,200 hours in this game. What are you talking about? I was going to do something then. What was it? Electricity, that's it. That's it. So if you remember way, way back, we know that one pump can supply 20 boilers, and we have, this is 10, correct? 10. So let's double this up. Make sure we've got enough space. Perfect. And I have very little of that on me. Now, again, this is not the kind of thing it's worth bothering to put in your mall, because you don't build many more of these. Plus it needs stone, which I haven't put on the bus in a long time. I'm just going to build this by hand. If you don't like handcrafting, then I suggest you find another YouTube channel to watch. No, please don't go. I mean, I suppose I could take the gear wheels and the pipes from here, but what is the point? Like, pipes do take forever to craft, so... It's alright, I got time to kill. 84. Oh no, I missed. Wow, that was very quick. 130 seconds, that was quite quick. Military stuff don't need. Automated rail transportation we definitely want. I am not manually driving the train backwards and forwards. I don't think I've ever... I think I've always just researched automation before I've built another train. Like, and it's popping off now. Here's all the fluid handling stuff, which basically just lets you put any fluid in barrels. Basic oil processing, solid fuel. We'll go through all this once we actually start processing the oil, but oil is certainly a hurdle. It is a, you know, the game is difficult, but it's not difficult in the sense that, you know, you fail. You just got to work it out. And how did I not have enough of these? I spent forever. I need 4 more boilers. Exactly all of these. But fluid processing is just, you can just get so bogged down in trying to work it out. And then not only that, it doesn't even last that long, basic fuel processing or oil processing, before it then asks you to do advanced oil cracking, and it's like, oh Christ alive, why? But once you get through that, then you get robots, basically, and that's the good stuff. Fluid wagons, for sure we're going to need to bring the oil to the base. I could have automated this, you are correct. There's so little value I find in automating a process like this that I'm only, like, that's it. This will be enough now. Forever, more than likely. Not for the whole game, of course, but I will probably not need more of this until I have then got other ways to make electricity, and in which case this can just stay here, and even if it doesn't, then I will have robots by the time I want to double it up. So this is now fully done. Like, once we are using all of the power, we're up to 36 megawatts of potential power, which is of course 40 of these. Is it 40? Is that correct maths? Yeah, 40 of these times by the max power output of 900 kilowatts. 40 times 900 is 3,600. 36,000. Whatever the number is, it's that. Right, so I guess it's come up to half an hour, so it's a bit of a shorter one this time, but there's not really anything good worth starting. I'm more just going to have to focus on ploughing my way through the science research and getting ready to make trains, which, as I say, I have done by stockpiling some engines for the future. So a train takes 20 engines. We're not going to need a huge amount of trains to begin with. And then we've obviously planned for this, but we will have a train network bringing stuff in. And as I said before, so we'll have oil processing probably happening here. That should then allow us to get blue science sorted. Blue science will make slightly further down, bring it up this way, plug it into the labs that are here, get roboports, get robots and roboports researched, and then start making the main... Oh, and explosives. We'll be able to make cliff explosives with the sulfur, so we can get rid of all of the cliffs that are in the way, and start making the base proper in this humongous space down here. This will be the main base that we will never ever deconstruct. This will eventually all go once we have completely exhausted this iron, this copper, this coal, and then this iron will come in here, this copper will come in here, and then the iron and the copper, the bus will probably go this way, I would imagine. But this is all forward planning, and this is the recommended way I would suggest you do it. If you try to scale this base up to be enough to finish the game, you can see the amount of space here that I've left. It's just not enough, like the sheer amount of green circuits that we're going to need. But I'll show you that. I'll show you the system for that and the best way to approach it, to make sure that you don't spend forever deconstructing things. That's Fluid Wagon done. You can see that it's actually not quite keeping up now. Not quite. Plastics. Definitely need plastic. Sulfur. Whatever. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know with a like or a comment. And if you want to see more Factorio Overexplained, then feel free to subscribe. That would be great. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.